Today, what is it, Thursday, December the 6th, 2018, another day in hell, another day in Babylon, another day in Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm not even going to go over all the bullshit. I was just watching a video um, about the undercover police officer who was savagely and brutally beaten by Caucasian overseers as he was protesting or acting as though he was involved in a protest. Whether he was acting undercover or whether he was doing it honestly is in my opinion, that's irrelevant at this point. Now we're going to face another point where three Caucasians are able to do whatever they want under the name of this law. Under the name of this law. I can't understand why people out here, and I'm not even going to call out specific races, just people, period, are still so baffled and confounded by the actions that are taking place by these officers, overseers. They've been taking place since back in 1800s, okay? This is no surprise. The reason why it's getting worse is the complacency is getting more and more advanced. The complacency and the sleeping of the same people who are being attacked. And I just have a question. I really do. I have a question for all you so-called black people, you so-called African Americans, whatever you want to call yourselves. I have a question for you today. When will enough be enough? I don't think it'll ever be, and I think that's why these so-called overseers will get away with it time and time and time again, and they're so bold that they have their frontline henchmen, these white women, these white men, to go out and attack black people, African American individuals, whatever you want to call yourselves, liberally, without reprimand, without recourse, without justice, without any action of the laws, because they know it's been proven time and time again. We are not considered human beings to these people, even though we are the original human man. We are not considered relevant. These are an evil, evil race of people. If you could only read back into your history, look into the Bible. If you could only look back, that's all you'd have to do. There are many other history books that will tell you as well. Every single race of people that the Caucasian race come by or come across or come into contact with, they corrupt, they sabotage, and they try to destroy and do away with these people. It's an inferior disorder. Many of these so-called overseers have an inferiority disorder into which they are frightened, scared, or just plain old insecure about themselves, about their position in this country, about their race. Some would even argue to say about their sexual impotence or their sexual orientation, because we all know that many of these so-called heterosexual Caucasian males are secretly homosexual. In fact, the majority of them are, and we already know this. They are threatened. Mostly, I believe that they are threatened because they know the coming of the last days are upon them. These days are all in Revelation. Please pick up the book and read it. Even if you want to argue that it may be written by man, read it. Because I guarantee you it will give you reference to everything that is happening today. I guarantee it. The book of Revelations, the King James Version of the Holy Bible, authorized version. Read it. Read it. It will tell you and give you a preview to everything that is going on right now. We live in Revelations right now. And until you wake up, your children will continue to be slaughtered. Your mothers will continue to be raped. Your daughters, your wives, yourself will continue to be beaten and killed with no remorse and no regard. We fought for civil rights. You fought for civil rights. You take up for Semitic people because so-called they were on the front line for civil rights. Who cares about civil rights when you can't walk down the street and remain alive? Who cares about civil rights when your children are being accosted and killed like animals in the streets? What the hell are civil rights? We don't even have human rights. Yet we go to work for these corporations that are owned by white people every single day. We are still on the plantation and never have left. For those of you out there with a liberal mindset. For those of you black Republicans, continue. I urge you, continue with your mindset, because you won't learn until it comes knocking at your front door. So many people are so unaware and turn a blind eye to the evil that these Caucasians do until they're confronted with it personally. I had family members that used to say to me, you all need to learn how to approach an officer. You all need to learn how to dress professionally in order to not be mistaken as an individual who has intent to do crime. However, I had to respond by saying, until you have experienced it for simply walking down the street, when are you going to wake up and understand that it has nothing to do with your clothing? When are you going to wake up and understand it has nothing to do with what they assume, but it has everything to do with who you are and who you represent? Thou children of Israel, whether you choose to believe me or not, when are you going to wake up? I'm through pleading. I don't even care anymore. I really came on here just to simply say I could give a damn about any Caucasian person. And that's literal. And I say that because I am so sick and tired of the latter, of those among us who choose to turn a blind eye and to take up for these Caucasian people. I am sick and tired of it. And so, yes, I call them on their evilness. Yes, I call them on their deity worshiping. Yes, I call them on their homosexual agenda. Yes, I call them on their agenda to destroy every other race of man but themselves. Yes, I call them on their agenda of being the most ignorant race. White supremacy is no accident. It is no accident. Nothing happens by chance. Please, open your eyes. Wake up. Don't let the death of your child or your loved ones be your wake-up call. Wake up and stand up. If they should shoot up your neighborhood today, will you still go into work? If their child should be slaughtered on the street tonight, do you still go to work tomorrow? Are you still worried about bills and paying these goddamn Caucasian people? Are you still worried about that? Wake up. You will never be safe. You will never be an American. You will never be a human in their eyes. You will forever and always be a threat, and forever and always be hunted and destroyed. Wake up.